All right, so you've made it to B1 in your language journey. First of all, that's awesome. Congratulations. You can get by, you can have conversations, you can handle the essentials. But let's be real for a second. Are you feeling kind of stuck? You're in that frustrating zone where real fluency just seems to be dangling right out of reach. Well, today we are going to talk about how to absolutely shatter that plateau. We've got 6 powerful, upgraded techniques designed to do just that. Does this whole scene sound familiar to you? You just blazed through the beginner levels. A1, A2, you were making progress every single day. But now, it feels like your progress has slowed to a crawl. You're trapped in this weird middle ground, this no man's land between being good enough to survive and being actually truly fluent. Well, my friend, that is the B1 Plateau. And you know what it is? It's a giant flashing sign telling you that the way you've been learning needs a complete and total overhaul. And this is the most important thing to get your head around. It's the core idea. The very strategies that were your best friends, the things that got you this far, the simple flashcards, the basic grammar drills, they are now literally the very things holding you back. It's kind of crazy, right? But to break through, it is time to re-engineer your entire approach to learning. So, where does this re-engineering process begin? It all starts right up here, in your mind. We need to make a fundamental mindset shift because your goal isn't just about cramming more words in your brain anymore. Nope, it's all about elevating the quality and the sophistication of how you actually use the language. Think about it like this. Back when you were a beginner, your whole goal was just simple survival, right? Just please understand what I'm trying to say. But now, the game has completely changed. You're not just trying to survive anymore. You're aiming so much higher. Your new goal is to sound natural, to be accurate and precise, to have conversations with real depth. That is your new mission. It's a whole new ball game. Okay, so with this brand new mission, we're going to need a brand new toolkit. The old tools are retired. So let's dive into the first set of techniques that are specifically designed to re-engineer how you acquire and process the language from this point forward. First up, technique number 1. And this might sound a little strange at first. Embrace precision mistakes. See, as a beginner, any mistake is a good mistake. It's a learning opportunity. But at B1, we're upgrading. We're now aiming to make smarter, more complex mistakes. This means you have to intentionally try to use tricky grammar. Things like the conditional tense or the passive voice. Even if you're only, say, 80% sure you're right. The real magic happens when you catch yourself and you correct yourself right there in the moment. It's like building mental gymnastics for your brain. It's about agility. So, let me give you a perfect example. Here's a classic B1 level sentence. Yesterday, we had strong rain. Now, let's break this down. Is it understandable? Yeah, of course. We know what you mean. Is it technically correct? Well, kind of. But here's the million-dollar question. Does it sound natural? Absolutely not. Not even close. This is a telltale sign of a learner translating word for word from their native language. It shows you're still thinking in isolated little word blocks, not in the natural chunks that native speakers use. And that brings us to what I think is the single most powerful tool for shattering that B1 plateau. And that word is collocations. So, what are they? Basically, they're just words that are best friends. They're words that naturally belong together, like a team. A native speaker's brain doesn't hear strong and then rain as two separate ideas. It just pulls out one single prepackaged unit, heavy rain. Getting good at spotting and using these word teams, that is the secret sauce to sounding natural and fluent. And just look at the power of this progression. Moving from strong rain to heavy rain is an immediate upgrade. It's like going from standard definition to HD. That right there is the B1 plus leap. But you can take it even further. The next level, getting into B2 territory, might be a phrase like, "The city experienced a torrential downpour." Wow. See the difference? You're not just describing the weather anymore. You are painting a rich, vivid picture. This is what happens when you stop learning single words and start learning phrases. This also means you need to upgrade the kind of feedback you get. Think of it this way. As a beginner, you needed a grammar stickler, someone whose only job was to ask, "Is it correct?" But now, you need to fire that person and hire a language stylist. This new partner asks a much more sophisticated question. They ask, "Okay, it's correct, but does it sound natural? Is that the right tone for this specific situation?" See? Their focus is on the nuance, the style, the art of the language, not just the black and white rules. All right, we've upgraded our mindset. We've upgraded our learning tools. Now it's time to upgrade the most important thing of all, our practice. The next few techniques are all designed to do one specific thing, to take all that passive knowledge you have, all the words and phrases you can understand when you read or listen, and turn it into active, spontaneous, real-world fluency. First up is a fantastic technique called media shadowing. Now, this is not a listening exercise. I want you to think of this as a physical workout for your mouth, your tongue, and your jaw. Here's how it works. You find a short audio clip of a native speaker, maybe from the news or a podcast, and you play it and you try to speak along with them at the exact same time. You're not waiting for them to finish a sentence. You are literally their shadow, their echo. You're trying to copy their exact speed, their rhythm, their intonation, the melody of their speech. It feels weird at first, but this retrains your mouth muscles to create native-like sounds, and it shatters that habit of pausing in unnatural places. Next, it's time to upgrade your conversation partner. I'm sorry, but conversations about the weather and what you did last weekend, they're not gonna cut it anymore. You need to find what I call a deep talk buddy. Your new goal with this person is to get into the weeds, debate complex topics, defend an opinion you have on climate change, discuss the ethics of artificial intelligence, compare the cultural differences between your two countries. You need to put yourself in this intellectual pressure cooker because that is where true fluency is forged. It forces you to use all that sophisticated grammar and all those connectors you've been learning. And technique number 6. Oh, this one is an absolute powerhouse. It's called the phrase expansion rule. Okay, so instead of trying to memorize a random list of 5 new words every day, which, let's be honest, you forget by next week, I want you to pick one advanced phrase and truly master it. So you take a phrase like susceptible to. Step 1, define it. Make sure you really understand it. Step 2, find its collocations, its natural partners. People can be susceptible to influence or susceptible to disease. And then step 3, the most crucial part. You write a short 3-sentence paragraph using that phrase correctly in context. This single drill takes a piece of vocabulary from passive to active and puts it right into your speaking arsenal. Okay, so we have all these amazing new techniques: shadowing, deep talks, phrase expansion. But having tools in a toolbox isn't enough, right? You have to know how to use them together. We need to integrate them into a powerful system. You see, individual techniques are useful, but a structured, consistent routine is what really, truly breaks the plateau. The key is creating an immersion loop that you follow every single week. So here's a blueprint for what that weekly workout could look like. And notice the mix of daily habits and bigger weekly sessions. So daily, you commit to 30 minutes of active reading. And by active, I mean you're on a mission. You are hunting for collocations, plus a quick 5-minute shadowing drill to warm up your mouth. Then, weekly, you have your 30-minute session with your language stylist focusing on nuance, and your big debate with your deep talk buddy. And then, every single night, just before bed, you take 2 minutes to look at a journal of the precision errors you made that day. This system creates a cycle of learning, practicing, getting feedback, and consolidating. It's how you guarantee consistent progress. You know, when you have the right mindset, the right tools, and the right system, the path forward suddenly becomes so much clearer. That journey from B1 to B2 can feel like this long, slow, foggy climb up a mountain. And that's exactly why it requires this complete change in strategy. This structure, this loop, it's the map you need to navigate that climb successfully. I absolutely love this metaphor because it just perfectly captures the shift you're making. As a beginner, you're basically just collecting Lego blocks. A red block of vocabulary here, a blue block of grammar there. You were just adding blocks to a pile. But now you're an architect. You're taking those same blocks and you're using them to build complex, elegant structures. You're building coherent arguments and nuanced opinions and beautiful, natural-sounding conversations. So, what's the path forward? It really comes down to 3 simple commitments. Number 1, be brave. Actively look for those conversations that kind of scare you. That's where the growth is. Number 2, be specific. Stop hunting for single words. Become a collocation hunter. And finally, number 3, be systematic. Don't just do this stuff randomly. Stick to your weekly immersion loop. That consistent, focused effort, that's the difference maker. And this really is about your new identity. Think about it. You're not a tourist in this language anymore, just passing through, trying to get by with a phrase book. You now have the tools, the map, the mindset to become a local, a true resident in this new linguistic world, someone who belongs. So the only question left is, are you ready to move in?